Have you ever found yourself standing in your kitchen late at night, staring into the pantry, and wondering if there's anything in there that could truly help you? For so many of us, waking up 2 or 3 times a night to use the bathroom just feels like a non-negotiable part of getting older. It's a reality we've quietly come to accept, isn't it? But here is the nightmare that no one talks about. Each time you're pulled from sleep, it's not just an inconvenience. Your body's vital repair work on your heart, your brain, and your immune system is cut short. The result is that lingering fatigue, that frustrating brain fog, and even worse, a significantly higher risk of a dangerous fall in the dark. Recent studies have shown that for seniors, these nightly interruptions can be one of the biggest hidden threats to their independence. But what if I told you that this nightly struggle is not something you simply have to endure? As a doctor who has sat with hundreds of patients wrestling with this very issue, I've seen a truth that often gets overlooked. The most powerful solution might not be in your medicine cabinet, but right there in your kitchen spice rack. I'm not talking about some abstract theory. I'm talking about real people, like a wonderful couple I know named John and Mary from New Jersey. For years, they believed their restless nights were just their new normal, until one tiny, simple change gave them back their mornings and the energy to play with their grandchildren again. In this video, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to arm you with hope. I will show you exactly what this simple spice is, the precise 60-second ritual to unlock its benefits, and the common mistakes that can make it completely useless. And please, make sure you watch until the very end, because I'll be revealing a surprising truth about drinking water that 9 out of 10 of my older patients get wrong. Understanding this one simple fact could be the most important change you make for your sleep. Everything I'm sharing today comes from years of clinical experience, explained simply, just as I would with my own patients. Before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of us share this experience. If the problem I've just described sounds familiar to you, please take a moment to comment a simple yes below. It helps me understand, and it shows others in our community that they are not alone. Okay, let's get started. Alright, now that we're all here together, let's get into the heart of the matter. We're going to walk through the 3 real reasons this is happening, and I want to start with the one that happens deep inside your body. Something you have absolutely no control over, but absolutely need to understand. Reason number 1. The silent hormonal shift. The first reason is this: your body's internal clock. It isn't following the same schedule it used to. Think about it. For decades, your body had a beautiful rhythm. When the sun went down, your systems knew it was time to prepare for rest. A huge part of that process was managed by a very important hormone called vasopressin. In all my years of practice, I found it helps to think of this hormone as the night's gatekeeper for your kidneys. When you were younger, as evening approached, your brain would release this gatekeeper. Its job was simple, but crucial. It would travel down to your kidneys and gently tell them, "Alright, team, it's time to slow down for the night. Let's not produce so much urine, so this person can get a solid 6, 7, maybe even 8 hours of deep, restorative sleep." And your kidneys listened. They obeyed. But here's the core reason why things feel so different now. As we get past the age of 60, our body's production of this vital hormone, this gatekeeper, naturally begins to decline. This is not a disease. It is not a sign that something is broken. It is simply a quiet, gradual shift that is a natural part of aging. It's not your fault. So, what does that mean for you, at 2 in the morning, when you're jolted awake by that familiar urge? It means that without a strong gatekeeper on duty, your kidneys don't get the message to slow down. They keep filtering fluids at nearly their full daytime pace. They're working overtime, right when the rest of your body is desperate for peace. This is why you're producing more urine during the very hours you need to be resting, pulling you out of a deep, healing sleep and sending you on that cold walk to the bathroom. I remember a patient of mine, Robert, a wonderful gentleman from Texas who had built his own business from the ground up. He came to me, exhausted and frustrated. He told me, "Doc, I just figured this was the price of getting to be 75. My body is just wearing out." He had accepted his broken sleep as a life sentence. But the truth was, his body wasn't wearing out. It was simply operating under a new set of rules. Once he understood that this silent hormonal shift was the starting point, not the end point, everything began to change for him. Now, we can't turn back the clock on this hormonal change, and that's okay. Because the secret isn't to fight our body, it's to work with it. The solution isn't about forcing your body to be young again, but about giving it the support it needs right now. And that begins with understanding the other key players in this nightly drama, which brings us to the second major reason your sleep is being interrupted. Reason number 2. The overly sensitive bladder. Alright, so we've established that your kidneys are working a bit more during the night. But that's only half of the story. The second major reason you're waking up is because the very organ that holds the urine, your bladder, is now operating like a smoke detector with a brand new, highly sensitive battery. It's sending out false alarms. Let me explain this with a simple comparison I often use with my patients. Imagine your bladder in your younger years was like a large, sturdy 16-ounce measuring cup. It could comfortably fill up almost to the top before sending a calm, polite signal to your brain that said, "Okay, at your convenience, it's probably time to find a restroom." There was no panic, no emergency. It was a clear, manageable message. Now, let's look at the bladder after 60. It's not that the cup has shrunk. The real change is in the wiring. The nerves that line the wall of the bladder have become more reactive, more easily excitable. They've aged along with the rest of your body, and their threshold for what they consider full has dramatically lowered. So now, instead of waiting for 16 ounces, that alarm might go off when there are only 4 or 5 ounces inside. Just half a cup of liquid is enough to make those nerves send an urgent, almost frantic message to your brain that screams, "Wake up! You need to go right now." This is the very reason for that feeling of frustration I hear about so often. You drag yourself out of bed, you go to the bathroom, and then, barely anything comes out. You stand there thinking, "Did I really have to get up for that?" The answer is, your brain thought you did. It was responding to an overly urgent signal. This isn't a sign that your bladder is broken. It's a sign that its communication system has become hypersensitive. It's a key part of the aging process that affects both men and women, but it's something we rarely talk about openly. I had a lovely patient named Eleanor, a retired schoolteacher from Florida. She was so embarrassed by her situation. She told me, in a near whisper, "I feel like my body is betraying me. It wakes my husband up, and I'm so tired of it." She was convinced something was terribly wrong with her. But when I explained this concept of the hypersensitive alarm system, I saw a look of pure relief wash over her face. She realized it wasn't a personal failing. It was a biological shift. Understanding this is incredibly empowering because it changes our entire goal. Our goal is no longer to wish the bladder could hold more. Instead, the goal becomes, how can we soothe those overreactive nerves? How can we calm down that faulty alarm system? We need to find a way to gently tell the bladder, "It's okay. This isn't an emergency. You can relax and let this person sleep." And that, my friend, is where our simple kitchen spice comes in. It's a master at doing exactly that. We'll get to how it works in just a moment, but first, we need to address the third piece of this puzzle, the one you have the most direct control over. Reason number 3. The hidden traps in your evening habits. So, we have the kidneys working overtime and the bladder sending out false alarms. The final piece of this puzzle, the one that often pushes the situation from manageable to miserable, is something that feels completely harmless. It's the hidden traps in our own evening routines. These are the small, comforting habits that we do without a second thought, not realizing they are secretly sabotaging our sleep. Think about your own evening. Does this sound familiar? You have a nice dinner, and maybe you drink 1 or 2 full glasses of water with it. An hour later, you're settling down to watch some television, and you decide a warm bowl of soup would be perfect. And then, right before bed, perhaps you have a comforting cup of herbal tea or warm milk to help you relax. Each one of these actions, on its own, seems perfectly healthy and innocent. But when you look at them through the lens of an aging urinary system, they become hidden triggers. Here's the core problem. All of that liquid you're consuming after, say, 7 p.m., is essentially creating a late-night rush hour for your kidneys. Remember, your kidneys are already working harder at night because of that hormonal shift we talked about. By adding a big glass of water, a bowl of soup, and a cup of tea, you are forcing them to process a large volume of fluid at the worst possible time. It's like giving your hardest working employee a massive pile of paperwork to finish right at closing time. They have no choice but to keep working late into the night. And where does all that newly processed liquid go? Straight into your already hypersensitive bladder. You're essentially pouring fuel on a fire. You're filling the tank right at the moment the body is desperately trying to empty it for a long period of rest. It's this combination, the extra work for the kidneys and the extra fluid for the sensitive bladder, that creates the perfect storm for multiple nightly awakenings. This reminds me so much of my patient Robert, the gentleman from Texas. When we first talked, he was adamant that he wasn't doing anything wrong. He told me, "Doc, I eat healthy. I don't drink soda." But when I asked him to walk me through his evening, the truth came out. He had a big bowl of chicken noodle soup every single night around 8:30 p.m., which he called his comfort food. He had no idea that this comforting habit was the primary culprit behind his exhaustion. It wasn't his age that was the problem. It was the soup. So here is your first, most powerful call to action. I want you to stop for a moment and honestly think about your own routine. What are you drinking or eating in the 3 hours before you go to bed? Is it a glass of juice? A bowl of ice cream? A late-night snack of fruit? Be a detective in your own life. Because identifying and adjusting this one simple habit can bring you more relief than you can imagine. Let's start by creating a simple rule. Try to minimize all liquids in the 2 hours before you lie down. This isn't about depriving yourself. It's about timing things intelligently to work with your body, not against it. Alright, we've uncovered the 3 main causes: the hormonal shift, the sensitive bladder, and our evening habits. Now, it's time to move from the problem to the solution. Let's talk about the incredible, natural ally waiting for you in your kitchen. The solution from the spice cabinet. Why fennel seeds work. So, the big question is, how can a humble little seed, something that might cost you $3 or $4 for a whole jar, possibly tackle such a complex biological problem? It seems almost too simple to be true. But the way fennel works is both elegant and scientifically sound. It's not magic. It's just brilliant natural chemistry. When you chew a small pinch of fennel seeds, you release their natural essential oils. These oils are packed with powerful compounds, the most notable being one called anethole. This is what gives fennel its unique, slightly sweet, licorice-like flavor. But this compound does far more than just taste pleasant. It acts as a natural muscle relaxant, specifically for what are called smooth muscles. And guess what your bladder wall and urinary tract are made of? That's right, smooth muscle. So, when these compounds enter your system about an hour before you go to bed, they begin to work their quiet magic. First, they address the problem of the overly sensitive bladder. The anti-inflammatory properties of the oils help to soothe the irritated nerve endings along the bladder lining. Think of it like applying a calming lotion to a patch of itchy skin. It dials down the reactivity. It tells those jumpy nerves to stop sending out false alarms. The urgent, frantic signals to your brain begin to fade, replaced by a sense of calm. Secondly, the muscle relaxant effect eases the tension in the bladder wall itself. Instead of being tight and quick to contract, it becomes more pliable, more willing to hold a normal amount of fluid without panicking. This action helps to restore a more youthful threshold, allowing your bladder to fill comfortably without constantly waking you up. In simple terms, chewing fennel for 60 seconds teaches your bladder to remain calm, which in turn allows your mind and body to sink into the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep. For so many of my patients, this has been a complete game changer. They report waking up feeling genuinely rested for the first time in years. Their heart rhythm is steadier through the night, and that brain fog in the morning starts to lift. It's incredible how one small, consistent action can create such a profound ripple effect throughout your entire well-being. The science is there, and the real-world results I've seen in my own practice are undeniable. It's a gentle, effective way to work with your body's natural systems. If you found that explanation as fascinating as I do, take a moment and just comment the word "wow" below. It's truly amazing what nature has provided for us, isn't it? Now, let's move on to the most important part: how to do this correctly to get these amazing results. Number 5. The practical guide to the 60-second nightly ritual. Alright, we understand why fennel works. Now, let's get down to the most important part: the practical, step-by-step guide to doing this correctly. Because, as I've seen time and time again in my practice, Having the right remedy in your hand is useless if you use it the wrong way. The details here are what separate success from failure. First, let's talk about choosing the right seeds. Not all fennel seeds are created equal, and for our purposes, quality truly matters. When you go to the store, I want you to look for seeds that are a gentle, pale green color and feel firm. Bring the jar close to your nose. It should have a light, sweet, almost licorice-like aroma. If the seeds look dull, brown, or faded, or if they smell musty and dusty, please put them back. It means they're old, and their potent essential oils have long since faded. In America, you can find good quality fennel seeds in most grocery stores, but always check the expiration date on the jar. Treat these seeds like a fresh ingredient, not a forgotten relic in the back of your cabinet. Next, and this is the absolute key to the entire process, is the golden window of timing. Many people, especially in cultures like India, where fennel is common, chew the seeds right after dinner as a digestive aid. While that's fine for digestion, for bladder health, and sleep, that timing is wrong. If you take it too early, its calming effects will wear off before you're even in bed. If you wait until you're climbing under the covers, your body will be too busy digesting to fully relax into sleep. The perfect moment, the one that has shown the best results, is approximately 1 hour before you plan to lie down to rest. Think of it as the final step in your winding down routine. So, if you go to bed at 10 o'clock, you'll perform this ritual at 9 o'clock. This gives the compounds enough time to be absorbed and start their calming work on your urinary system, but not so much time that the effect fades. Finally, let's discuss the method itself. This is not about swallowing a pill. This is a mindful, 60-second ritual. You'll take a small pinch of the seeds, no more than half a teaspoon, and place them in your mouth. Begin to chew slowly, deliberately. Don't rush it. As you chew, you'll notice the gentle, sweet oils releasing. Focus on that flavor. Breathe calmly. This act of slow, intentional chewing is a powerful signal to your nervous system. It says, the day is over. We are safe. It is time to relax. After about 60 seconds of chewing, the seeds will have softened, and the oils will have mixed with your saliva. Now, you can swallow them slowly. Many of my patients have told me this small, 1-minute ritual has become their favorite part of the evening. It's a moment of calm, a prayer for a peaceful night. It's that simple, but that precise. And it can change the entire course of your night. Number 6. The critical safety warnings you must know. Now, before you rush off to try this tonight, we need to have a serious, doctor-to-patient talk about safety. This is incredibly important. Even the gentlest natural remedies must be used with wisdom and respect, especially as our bodies get older and more sensitive. There are 3 critical rules I need you to follow. Rule number 1 is the simplest. More is not better. In our American culture, we often have a supersize-it mentality. If a little is good, a lot must be great. With fennel seeds, that is absolutely not the case. Taking a heaping tablespoon will not triple the benefits. In fact, it's far more likely to upset your stomach, cause bloating, or in some cases, lower your blood pressure a little too quickly. The effective dose is a small one. Remember the amount, 1 small pinch, no more than half a teaspoon. That is all you need. Please, do not exceed this amount. Consistency over quantity is the key to success here. Rule number 2. Fennel is a companion, not a replacement. This is not a magic bullet that allows you to ignore sound medical advice. If you are taking prescription medications, especially for high blood pressure, diabetes, or any blood-thinning medication, you must speak with your doctor or your pharmacist before making this a nightly habit. Fennel can have mild interactions, and your healthcare provider is the only person who can give you advice tailored to your specific health profile. I tell all my patients to think of fennel not as a substitute for their medical care, but as a gentle teammate that works alongside it. It supports your body's calm, but it does not replace the medicine that keeps your body stable. And finally, rule number 3, listen to your body. While this remedy is safe and effective for the vast majority of people, every single one of us is unique. When you start, pay attention to how you feel. The goal is to feel calmer, sleep more deeply, and wake up more rested. If for any reason you feel any discomfort or adverse effects, you must stop. Your body's wisdom is your greatest guide. By respecting the right amount, consulting with your doctor, and honoring your body's unique needs, you are creating a safe, responsible, and effective path towards calmer nights and much, much brighter mornings. Please, promise me you will remember these rules. They are here to protect you and ensure that this journey is a healthy and successful one. As we come to the end of our time together, I want us to circle back to where we started, with that feeling of quiet frustration in the middle of the night. And I want you to remember the story I told you about John and Mary, that lovely couple from New Jersey. Before they made these small changes, their nights were filled with interruptions, and their days were heavy with fatigue. Their home was quiet in the mornings, not out of peace, but out of sheer exhaustion. Today, their home is different. They no longer dread the evening, because they have a simple, gentle ritual that works with their bodies. They wake up feeling rested. They have the energy to enjoy their coffee on the porch together, to plan their day, and most importantly, to chase their grandkids around the backyard without feeling drained. They didn't need expensive medicine or complicated procedures. They reclaimed their peaceful nights, and in doing so, they reclaimed their vibrant mornings. They did it by understanding the why behind their struggle and applying a simple, natural solution with consistency. Their story is a powerful reminder that healing and comfort are still possible at any age. The core message I hope you take away today is one of profound hope. Your body is still listening. It hasn't given up on you, so please, don't you give up on it. True, lasting wellness doesn't always come from the most complex or costly solutions. More often than not, it comes from the wisdom of nature, combined with your own willingness to make small, thoughtful, and consistent changes in your daily life. And so, as we wrap up, we've explored the hidden causes of broken sleep and a simple, powerful tool to help you reclaim your rest. But as we all know, knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important question for you. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself this week after watching this video? It could be as simple as, I will try the fennel seed ritual tonight. Or maybe, I will stop drinking liquids after 8 p.m. Please, take a moment and share your personal commitment in the comments below. Writing it down is the first step to making it real, and your commitment might just be the inspiration someone else needs to see today. Let's fill that space with our collective hope and determination. And if you found real value and comfort in our time together, please show your support by giving this video a like. It's a small click for you, but it helps this message reach so many others who might be struggling in silence. To ensure you continue on this journey with us, and never miss another video full of practical, life-changing wisdom, hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing, it's joining a community, a family of friends dedicated to living our golden years with health, dignity, and joy. Finally, think of one person in your life who needs to hear this message. A spouse, a sibling, a dear friend. Please share this video with them. You never know. One small seed of knowledge can truly change an entire season of someone's life. Thank you for spending this time with me. Stay healthy, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.